Hello everyone, good to see you again. Thank you for keeping on watching these videos. So today we'll be talking about the inbound methodology. So what have we talked about so far in this course? So in the very beginning we talked about the buyer's journey and the zero moment of truth theory and how a buyer goes through 5 different steps until he makes his or her buying decision. And then we talked about content. Content is also very important, how the content you create for your own media channel can influence that journey. So now, today, in this video, in the inbound methodology, we'll be talking about how you can combine those two together and how great content can attract the customer to your property. So let's imagine that you're the person here in this hotel. You're the digital marketing manager, and your job is to convince that customer through the buyer's journey. So how do you do that? And that's where this theory comes on very handy to give a step-by-step instructions of what you need to do at each step of the journey. So let's get started. So this is you, digital marketing manager, and you have the buyer. So one of your very first step or the very first thing you need to do is to raise awareness. That buyer doesn't know you. All right? They are in their stimulus stage and they're still getting inspiration, or maybe not even there, right? So you want to create the awareness to try to be visible so they know who you are. However, at that stage, you don't know them, they don't know you, so we call them stranger. Then the buyer will move on to the following step. They will move to the ZMOT. Maybe they found something interesting, they want to know more about whatever they've seen, and they start doing some search. Now, what is very important at this moment is that you want to attract the buyer. You don't want to attract the buyer to your property or to your restaurant yet, not yet, but you want to attract your buyer to your owned media. And that's a very important aspect. You want to attract that potential buyer to your website or to your blog or to your Facebook page, thanks to the great content that you've created. Maybe the buyer went on Google search, and because the search term matched exactly what you have in your blog, ta-da, they found you. And then they start reading about the great content. They start watching the nice video that you've created, and they are getting interested. At this step, we will call the buyer a visitor. Not a visitor of your property, but a visitor of your owned media channel. This is good. You've got the person on your own media channel. You started convincing them. So the next step is to convert them. Convert them to what? To customers? No, not yet. You want to convert them to become what we call a lead. And a lead is a very, very important term in marketing. A lead is someone that shows interest in your product, that has gotten in touch with you, either through an email, or maybe the person filled a form on your website, or maybe when he went on Facebook, he saw the messenger button open and he started chatting with you. In all these different examples, the buyer is showing interest and is giving contact details. Having the contact details of that person, that lead, might allow you to later on trying to convince that lead to become a customer. And when you're doing that, you are doing what is known in many different places as closing the deal and making the lead become a customer. So the customer is booked, he comes to your hotel, comes to your restaurant, comes to your bar, and of course you want the customer to enjoy his stay. You want him to have a great experience. You want to delight him. It's not only your job, obviously, because as a digital marketing manager, you're not in charge of operation. But then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you exceed his expectations. Because if you do that, then your customer now becomes an ambassador, because he will start talking about his great experience to his friends. And maybe the picture he puts on Instagram might inspire his friend, and that person becomes a stranger. And then started to be interested, does a research, goes on Google, maybe find the blog as well, and then start reading the blog. And then the person will find your great content, and it goes on and on like that. And that's what we call the inbound methodology. So I hope this is much clearer. Now I'm going to explain how and what tools you need to use in order to influence that journey. So you've done your research, you created your buyer persona, and you've looked at every step of the buyer's journey, looking at where they go and what they're looking for, right? We've done that exercise already, so this is very important. All these different factors at each step of the buyer's journey. So now what do you do with that? So now when the person is a stranger, this is the moment where you tend to use paid media. Paid media, most of the time, is there to create stimulus. Or you're trying to also get some earned media from influencers as well to create that initial push. Now, the ZMOT stage is the most important as a digital marketing person. Your job is to try to get found. When people go on Google, when people go on Facebook and they search for your terms, when people go on Instagram and start looking for those hashtags, this is when you want to get found. You want to appear in their search. And then as they're searching, you want them to then start reading the great content. Like that, you convince them that you are a great option for them. And then they think, yeah, maybe I want to stay there. Maybe I want to take that hotel as a place to stay. And this is the moment when they arrive in their ZMOT. And then is where they're going to be looking more in details about the product that you're offering. Does that product really match my expectations? So this is when then you start highlighting the different benefits. And this is also when you want to try to convince them to book on your own channels so that you don't have to pay any commission. Now, when we come to the customer phase in the second moment of truth, when the person is experiencing the product, you want to add value to what matters to them. And how do you do that? You're trying to exceed their expectations. Not just satisfy their needs, but go beyond that. And that is also very important. It's the reasons why you want to know what the expectations are so that you can go beyond them. Because there's more likely a chance for them to share the experience if you truly provided that great experience. And then after that, they move to the ZMOT, and maybe they will talk about you. Maybe they will share the experience. Maybe they will go online by themselves, but maybe not. So this is where you want to find the incentive to get them to encourage to share their experience. Maybe through a contest, maybe through just simply asking them, maybe ask them to film a video where they give the reviews and you put it on your website. We've seen a lot of different tactics before, and that's the stage where it's becoming important. So thank you very much. I hope this is really helpful to you as you are trying to create your digital marketing plan and what you need to do at each different step of the journey to, again, influence your buyer to choose you rather than your competitors. All right, thank you so much. Talk to you in the next videos.